Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, good. All right, let me turn this on. Good evening. I was cold because it got rainy out there. And it's been very rainy. Let's see. I have to turn this on. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right, there we go. Wait, hold on. I gotta stop it. Okay. Hey, Google, stop. Okay, good. I did something wrong. Okay. I have to actually, let me see. I'll undo this. And then I have to, I'm sorry. I have to move this to get my handles. Oh, that's good. I forgot my handles. There's my handles. Okay, good. Let me see. There's that one. All right. Getting ready to at least I have it. Oh, oops. Shoot. Oh, EO7. Okay, whatever that is. EO7. Oh, I see what happened. This thing fell off. So I got an EO7. This is okay. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let's see. Oh, that needs to go back. Let me see if I'm supposed to put this on here as a magnet. Okay, hold on. All right, good. EO7. Hey Google, turn off the um, treadmill. Okay, good. So at least I was trying to see. Oh, that's the part that goes on me. Okay, that's not the right part. Okay, good. It's this little magnetic thing. So if I fell, okay, I had the wrong part. There it is. Let's see. Hey Google, turn on the treadmill. All right, good. It's all happy. Oh, now that's the EO7 again. Okay, good. Well, at least I know how to do it. Let's see. There. That has to be on so that if I had to fall, it would shut the machine off. Okay, good. But I also have a Google Home that shuts it off. And now I'm going to take a sip of our tea. Well, it's actually a broth. Oh, that's so good. Okay, good. So then I turn my thing on and I can talk to you. Okay, good. And walk. See how that goes. Okay, good. I'm doing my walking. All right, good. Nice to see you all. And I guess, yeah, I'm talking and walking. That's good. I'll push this towards me. All right, good. Well, good evening. And I said, our children, it was a quote from our neighbor. Our children need to learn how to grow food. And we were talking, our neighbor, Hispanic family that lives next door, came and brought us Christmas gifts. That was very sweet. 3 bottles of wine. And they all had their Christmas shirts on that were very cute, and their dad, and the 3 girls, his 3 girls, and the father, and there's a mother too, but she didn't come and over. But anyway, that was sweet. And so we were talking about, and I said to them that, and that was something Cougar W and I were talking about, is that their rental property next to us, and they're renters, that we would build beds for them. So we said that we would do that. And he was happy about it. He was excited about it. So I said that, in front of their house, they have a large, well, it's not, well, it's pretty wide verge. They call it a verge in the UK. And hold on, I'm just gonna step aside, and I'm just gonna turn this volume up. What is that sound? Oh, I guess maybe that's the sound of the machine. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, so that what was it? So I was saying to them, so Cougar W and I were talking and saying that we could build a bed for them in this verge, also called a parking strip, of course, in America. It's a parking strip for the car. And but it's pretty wide one, and they also are a corner lot, um, and they have side verges too, or parking strips. So we said that we would build a bed, a high, and I was thinking, there's a neighbor on one of our streets that has these really tall beds that are so beautiful, and they come up to your waist. I love those. It's so nice to work on that. And that sounded really great. So if we would build it, I don't know how we would do that, but you can fill it up with a lot of what they call hugel is a name for it. It's called hugel something, some Dutch word, where you don't fill it up with such good soil. You put in the bottom, you could put leaves and tree barks and tree limbs and a lot of yard waste, leaves, and you fill it up. I don't know how we would necessarily do that, or maybe, anyway, if it came up to our waist, the beds, and that would be so beautiful. And it's they have this neighbor on Heading. As I go over to Santa Clara to some of the farmers markets, I was going over there, and there's this neighbor who has like the whole front yard is these raised beds, and there's like about 8 of them in the front, and they're large beds, and they're just so beautiful. And in the front, they grow a lot of flowers, and then in the back, I mean, they're just really good farmers, and their produce is so big and gorgeous, like these broccoli plants that are so humongous, and cabbage, and just these gorgeous plants. And I don't know how they do it, because I don't know, I haven't planted any cabbage, but anyway, so so we said that we would do that for our neighbor, and he was excited about it, and said that I guess I mentioned that in our climate crisis we have to all grow food, and my neighbor said, yeah, that's true. And his children, like, are from the ages of like 12. The girls were maybe 10, maybe 8, 9 to about 14 or 15, or maybe even older, 9 to 17. So he had three girls, and he also has a son. I think they have more kids too, but those are the ones living with them. And so he said, yeah, our children, their generation is going to need to learn how to grow food. So he was very happy about having us put the beds in, and we would buy compost and most probably seedlings, buy the seedlings and plant everything, and show the kids how we do it, and water it. And I guess I would water it. I mean, it's not that far from our house property. I guess we got to get a longer hose or something, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I think my hose would work. Yeah, my hose would work. So I could water it. And anyway, and so that was that. And so that was very heartwarming to hear him say that he knew that it was true, that their generation is going to need to learn how to grow food. Good. That's great. So that was very heartwarming to say, have a neighbor say that, and that we were willing to put in the beds and the time to help with that, and it was like, okay, that's starting. We're starting a revolution. What is it? And it was something that, what's his name? Anyway, he's got the Climate Majority Project, and he's all about adaptation. And how is your neighborhood adapting? And so it's growing food. And I said to Google, in terms of our climate crisis, if growing food was an important part of adaptation, and she said definitely yes, and that food insecurity and food, losing our food supplies is going to be a problem with our global climate change, and so that the more hyper local it can be, and then of course we have to live without fossil fuels, and even like, where are we? We're going to go into 2026, and basically, we were supposed to be 50% reduction. The scientists said that from the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that we had to be almost 50% reduction by 2030 in order for us to stay at 1.5. I guess maybe that was it. Maybe that was it, to stay at 1.5. Well, we're already at 1.5, so that's over. So that was 50% reduction for us to stay at 1.5. I think that's what it was saying. That was in 2018 when they had their 1.5 report in 2018, and that we had 12 years to reduce by 50% so we could stay at 1.5. They did all that research. It was the low-lying nations, not the petrostates. The petrostates are the ones that are fighting any kind of talk about fossil fuels, or even any kind of discussion about stopping burning fossil fuels, the petrostates. And we were not. They said that there are about 20 petrostates that were at the IPCC, not the COPs. It was the COPs. It's the COPs, and there were 20 of them, and they made sure, the petrostates made sure, especially Saudi Arabia, that everything had to be at 100% agreement, 100%, not majority. It had to be 100%. Anyone that didn't want what they were saying, or one word that they didn't like in their report, it could be vetoed by any of the providers, any of the nations, because there's like 192 nations agreed to the climate 2015 Paris Agreement. There were 192 signatories, and all of them had to agree on every word. And so, but now, that was like 10 years ago, we agreed that we were going to try to stay to 1.5 or 2 degrees C, and that's catastrophic, 2 degrees C. And we're already experiencing catastrophe. I mean, California has been hit hard with a lot of catastrophes just right now, with so much rain and landslides and flooding and deaths from so much rain. And what does that sound? I guess that sound is me walking my little machine. So anyway, and I don't know what I was saying. So that was heartwarming that a neighbor was like excited about it. So we'll do it. And he doesn't own the property, but we're not going to ask the property owner. And if the property owner doesn't want it, and we were going to build a walkway too, like some type of, I don't know how Cat will do it, how Cougar W will do it, but there will be a walkway, because they have their cars that they park on the street, and getting over it. It's a big grassy area right now. And so anyway, so we'll see. So that's how we'll do it. So that was heartwarming, because he said it was important. It was nice to have a neighbor understand that. That was great. Anyway, so what was it? Somebody said, I'm not sure. Somebody said, we love immigrants, or we need immigrants, not racists. We need immigrants, not racists. And then I was thinking about, it's just like with children, and Cougar W was talking about, the people aren't going to have, men and women are talking about not having children, and especially women, I guess. And they're concerned about our climate crisis, and they don't want to bring kids into it. So, but I was thinking that there isn't really, well, first of all, it's the way that the family lives. And, if they're fossil fuel free, then they're good citizens and good participants in our community. And they could help build our villages that will help with adaptation, those type of things. So it's not like the immigrant is the problem. It's the type of human that is the problem, and the way the human lives. And so that was heartwarming to have our neighbor say that his children need to learn to grow food. And, I guess he's saying the next generation, it's going to be a lot worse by the next generation. And so, but really it's happening right now. And so we all need to do that now. So that was that. Anyway, the children need to learn how to grow food. And that was what, Cougar W was saying in terms of our city, and what our city can do for adaptation is have classes in the Park and Rec. Like my kids took theater classes in Park and Rec, but we need skills and survival skills. That's what we need. So that was that. And so, okay, good. Anyway, and so we need to learn how to grow food, and that needs to be a class. So that sounds good. And what else did he say? Oh, and I'm supposed to write the county, and the county is going to help us through some type of a Grange movement. I wrote a lot of notes down, but they're waiting for my interest in that. But our county did elect to have somebody who is the head of a department of local agriculture, like local food growing groups, and we do have those. And so they have made a department of that, and the person who is like the head of that department is from a group that was, I can't think of the name of the program, but they grow a lot of food. Emma Prush Park. And Emma Prush was I don't know if she was native, but she was a resident of San Jose, and she donated land, and she said it had to be only used for agriculture. And so it's a big farm is over there. It's on the east side of San Jose. But the city of San Jose didn't really follow all of her guidelines that was in her will for donating the land. But they actually put a freeway right there. So, they did that. So they owe us. The city owes us. The city and the county and the community owes us for survival that that land was misused it became a highway, or the highway intersected part of the land, took some of that land. So anyway, I guess we're going to make dinner. So I just wanted to say hello to you and get my walk in. And let's see, what else was I saying about? Oh, so I am going to be writing the county about what they can do. And Cougar W always talks about a Grange movement. Like, we should have a building. I don't want to really have a building. Plus, I don't like going into buildings. And so we can just, use our homes, the outside. That we did talk about that. Like, we have a gazebo that we built, and people could, gather there, and there's chairs and things like that. So we could have classes there to learn. And okay, so that's good. And then what was the other thing? There was something I was thinking about I was going to tell you about BART. That was the best highlight of my day, is that Caltrain does not allow, I have an electric tricycle for I guess I got a tricycle. It does help. I mean, we got a tricycle maybe about 10 years ago, and we always ride our bikes. And so, but I got a tricycle, and that was helpful. But then I got an e-trike because I was going to a lot of farmers markets, and I was, doing that for a while. But now, I guess I still will be doing it with my, that I have coupons to buy things from the farmers market. So I will be going to farmers markets until I use all those up. And so, but anyway, and so I was doing a lot of traveling to a lot of different farmers markets. And so I got an e-trike. And the state of California had a program. I guess they're going to have another opening of it, that they were giving away e-trikes and e-bikes as part of, to reduce our carbon footprint. But it was a lot of people applied. So they were giving us $2,000 towards an e-trike or an e-bike. Really, most people. But you were eligible for an e-trike too, if you needed one. And so anyway, I applied twice. They had two openings, or 2 times or 3 times in 2025 where they offered the e-trikes or the e-bikes. And so, but like 100,000 people were trying to get, and they had maybe, I don't know, 100 bikes and it was like a $3 million or something for that year, or for that opening. And so, but we went ahead and bought one because it was like, okay, fine. And I'm really glad I bought it because so many people love it. And it was like, it's a good to have an example of an alternative to um, the car, right? And how the e-trike does a great job, and I could carry so many groceries, and it does great. And so anyway, I was saying about, oh, well, Caltrain wouldn't allow the e-trike on, they said, but they allow scooters, for disabled, they would allow a scooter. And with me, I mean, I'm not totally disabled, but I definitely have multiple sclerosis. So I have a weak left leg. And so crossing the street, if I even have a little walker, or if I use my walking sticks, which I do need to use for my walking, it takes me a while to cross the street. So it's not that friendly to cross the streets because I'm slow. And so anyway, so I wanted to take my e-trike, but, Caltrain wouldn't allow that. And if I was going to go to San Francisco to visit my daughter who lives in our daughter who lives in San Francisco, or now my son and his girlfriend are moving to San Francisco for whatever reason. Anyway, so they say it's a beautiful city. Okay, fine, it's a beautiful city. Yeah, but you can't eat the buildings. So that's the beautiful thing about San Jose, is we're the Valley of Heart's Delight. So that's where we should be living. All right, good. That's a good point. But they're up there because they're not listening. And anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so then Bart had a program that said, well, Marshall was telling me, my son was telling me that, anybody could go on Bart because there's very little oversight or something, conductors that they have like on Caltrain. They don't have that on Bart. So he thought I could just use it. But anyway, when I looked into it, they did allow the trike, but you had to sign in and you had to get like doctor's approval and disabled and this, that, and the other. So I called them because I'm not officially in any kind of disability type of thing. But so I called them, and then they called me back today finally because they said the number I called was a strange number. So whatever. She called back today, this woman, Ryan, I think her name was, and she said, yeah, go ahead. And she was the head of customer service or something. So she said, no problem. As long as you walk the bike in the station and onto the platform, that the e-trike was fine. And my husband take the e-bike. So that was great. So that was nice. I don't know if I want to go on the BART, like some crowded old BART, because COVID is still going around, and I haven't gotten COVID, and usually I don't travel anywhere or go inside buildings, but we would wear our mask. And I don't know. I'm not even sure if I want to go, but maybe I was thinking about going like at 5 a.m. They open up on a weekend or something, where it's very low traffic. So they do open early, and we could ride our trike to Berryessa BART, which is about, I don't know, so that's really cool that we could ride the trike to Berryessa BART, which we've done many times, and it's like over towards North San Jose. It's not that far. It's like 2 or 3 miles, so that's easy. Then we get on the BART, and my daughter lives near the Embarcadero. They said the Embarcadero is very crowded, or you can get off at there's another stop, but early in the morning on a weekend, it shouldn't be too bad. So anyway, that was one idea. See if I could convince my husband. He doesn't really want to go, and we might not go. So we'll see. Anyway, that was some good news, though, that BART was open to me taking my trike. So that was exciting. Anyway, and so mostly what I was saying is teach our children well. The parents' hell, whatever the expression is from Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Teach our children well. That the parents' hell, whatever the expression was, or the song, But anyway, we need to teach our children to grow food. Teach our children to grow food and to survive, and living in a village. So that's what we have to do. All right, sweetie. Have a good night. I guess I'm going to put my feet over here and say good night. I'll take my sip of my brothy tea. Hey, Google, turn off the treadmill. Well, that's quiet. was making a lot of noise. All right. Have a good night. 20 minutes. See you soon.